Welcome back to the channel, guys. So in today's episode, if you will, we're going to be talking about how to get a job in 2024 as a software engineer. We want to make sure that we are positioning you as the ideal candidate for hiring managers. And before we go into that, I just want to say there's so many people that are applying and so many people are learning how to code, picking up their keyboards and all of those things and learning how to code, but so few of them are actually being able to land a job. So few of them are actually able to turn those skills into tangible results and meaning a return on investment. And so I really want to be able to end that. I want everybody to make as much money as you possibly can make, because when you look at these companies, we're talking about multi-billion-dollar companies, if not trillion-dollar companies. There's a lot of money to be made. Okay, so you can get your little slice of the pie, and if I can help you do that, like, share the video, subscribe if you find this helpful. All right, so let's jump into it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to focus on who is our target. And as you can see, is that our target is the hiring managers. Now, most people, when they're going about completing their profiles, their LinkedIn, their GitHub, everything is always me. It's all about me. So when the hiring managers or the HR reps go to see your stuff, all they see is just you. It doesn't speak anything about them. So we want to kind of reverse engineer. We want to stop thinking like how do you say? We want to stop being selfish, and we want to start thinking about how can we add value to the employer, to the company, right? That's the mindset that we need to have. And I didn't necessarily have this mindset all the time. And it wasn't until I became a business owner of myself and I started looking at like potential help differently, right? Because I want somebody who's going to have the same values that I have. I want somebody that's going to, I feel, understand me, right? And so if you're an employee, or your prospective employee, or potentially, somebody who wants to work at this company, you should flip that. You should have that mindset of like, I know that companies want to hire people who think like them and work like and help them, right? Of course, they want to have diversity in thought, right? Of course, we want to be able to come up with new creative projects. But at the same time, they're looking for people that they can trust and have a core relationship with. And how can you do that when there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of applications, if not hundreds of applications that are flooding as soon as they put the job posting up? Literally tons and tons of applications are being put out. So how do we stand out in all of that, right? So first thing is we want to make sure we get our target as this hiring manager, right? So now that we know who it is that we're speaking to, you can also put HR rep here as well, because they're going to be the ones also doing this and getting you in front of the hiring managers, depending on how technical you want to be. Okay, but the HR rep will be speaking with the hiring managers or the engineering team as to what the qualifications are and what are the things that they're actually looking for. So we should really have our target being the hiring manager / HR rep. Okay, so what does he or she want as it relates to you? So what are you able to provide for them? Again, what value do you bring to the table? And I'm not saying this in a condescending way or a negative way. It's just like literally, I want you to think about this, right? Like, what value do you bring to this company, to this hiring manager, right? In order to really understand this question, we're going to have to dive in a little bit deeper. Now, this is not just like, of course, you're probably just looking at me like, oh, wait, you were supposed to tell me about which job board. Yeah, you can go on Indeed, you can spam all those jobs and everything. You can definitely do that, right? But if we really want to get a job and really move in a meaningful way, then there are things that we can do, right? So let's keep moving on with this. All right, so what is his or her problem. I don't mean like, yo, what's your problem, bro? What's going on? What's good? Like, what you got issues with me? Why you not responding back to me? Why you ghosting my my interviews? I don't mean it in that way, right? I don't mean it in that way. It's more of what challenges and frustrations do hiring managers face when they're looking for the right candidate, right? They're frustrated because, again, thousands of people flooding their inbox, hundreds of people flooding their inbox, and you got to find the person. So what does it mean? You got to spend how much time looking for that one person, or maybe 2 or 3, depending on how many openings there are. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine if you were them? How would you feel? What challenges do you think that they would be facing, and frustrations? So how are you the solution to any of these, right? How are you going to demonstrate empathy, authority, showing that what? You understand their challenge and you have the solution. You are the solution to what they're going through. That they don't have to keep going through all of that mess anymore. They don't have to look at anybody else anymore. They found their perfect, ideal candidate, and it's you. How are you going to do that? Right? Now, mind you, this is a video, like obviously this is YouTube, right? So this is a channel where I'm speaking to masses. I'm speaking one to many. So as I was preparing for this, it was kind of hard because I was thinking like I wanted to give very specific scenarios, but then I didn't want people to use those scenarios and it didn't really necessarily fit them. So I do have, if you do want to meet with me, there is a free consultation. I'm going to have it down in the links in the description below. There will be like a link so you can set a time to chat with me. And it'll be, I believe, 15 minutes. We could chat about it, see how I might be able to help you with this if you need help. And also, there are 5 common mistakes that beginner coders or people looking to break into the industry, there are 5 common mistakes that they make. That's also going to be at the bottom. You can click that. You can sign up for that if you don't have that, or if you do have it, great. If you don't have it, definitely sign up for that because it's going to help you as you're navigating this space and let you know what it is that you need to be doing in hopes that actually to help prepare to make sure that you're the solution to the problems that they're having, right? So it's free. It's down below. You lose absolutely nothing for downloading it. And I took a lot of time preparing that, so definitely look at it. Okay, so what is your plan, right? So we found that they have a problem, right? They have a problem. We're the solution. Now we need to make a plan and show them so that they can see like, oh, this person is not only are they the solution, they're telling me how they're going to solve my problems, the steps that are going to be taken to alleviate my problem. This person is super prepared. This person is diligent. This is a hard worker. This is somebody that is speaking directly to me. This is somebody that I am going to pay a little bit more attention to than everybody else. Now, mind you, you don't get a lot of time. So if you have your portfolio, if you have your, LinkedIn, your GitHub, if you're pointing anybody to those to point to you as like, hey, look, check me out, give me a chance, and you're not speaking to those individuals on those platforms, then you're literally wasting an opportunity. If you're just pointing them to projects, wasting opportunity, wasting. Because most people are going to look at it and say, okay, you know how many people sent me their GitHubs? And they're looking to learn more about coding. And it's like, I look at it and I'm like, okay, but what am I looking at? What should I be focused on? I don't know, right? Like, I have to guess what you want me, like, hiring managers are not going to guess. Hiring managers are not going to guess at all. They're just going to move on. So you want to be as clear as possible and make it as simple as possible for them to know exactly what they need, what you want them to know, and how you solve their problem, right? And so, and then also, how can you make their decision to hire you actually easy? How can you make it as easy as possible? Now, most of you probably thinking like, "Oh, it's real easy. Just send me the contract. I'll sign it." Like, obviously, there's steps that need to be done, right? There's steps that need to be done. There's interviews that need to be going. How are they going to be reaching out to you? How are they going to be contacting you? How do you like to be contacted, right? There's so many things. What do you want them to do? What is the direct action that you want that HR rep or hiring manager to do when they look at your profile, or if they're speaking with you? You have to even be thinking about this. These things should be on your mind when you're networking, if you're going to any type of event, right? Or you're going to a meetup, whatever the case may be. If you're out there and you're doing any of those things, these should be on your mind. Problem. What is the problem that they're facing? Do they have a problem? Am I able to solve it? Am I able to position myself in a way to be able to solve that problem and then articulate it in a fashion in which they feel comfortable? Like, oh, dang, he or she, they know who I am. Oh, yes, they're speaking directly to me. That's the software engineer that I'm looking for. That's the exact problem that is facing us right now, and they do have the solution to it. Right? So it's not just written. It's not just the places you put it out. It's wherever you go. And you never know. You never know who you might be meeting. You never know who is watching your content. I don't know if you have content online. You have some people create Instagrams and stuff like that to also market themselves. And if you do that, that's great. And if you do it, how are you doing it? Right? You don't let these things use you. You use them. Okay? Things being social media. Okay? So what does success look like? So we want to paint a picture, right? We want to paint a picture of what success looks like. So how does the hiring manager, right? How does hiring you benefit them? How does it contribute to the company's goal? This is like literally a theme that we're talking about, right? And we want to do these things in this particular order that I'm giving it to you. And I'm going to run through it again towards the end as well. Okay, so this is really what we need to paint that picture so they can see. So we gave them a plan, we told them what they need to do, and we want to paint a picture of like how awesome it will be for us to be at their company, how much value, how much better their jobs will be, how much how less stressful it will be, right? And also, when we're talking about the problem initially, this could be a generic problem, but this can also be like when I'm talking about how many applicants, it could be a generic problem like that, or you can do a little bit of research into the companies that you're looking for. Say if you have top 3 companies, top 5 companies, whatever the case may be, and you wanted to do a little bit of research, not a lot. Don't be spending hours upon hours, like 10, 15 minutes if this is a company that you really want to work for, find out what are some challenges that they're facing, right? Find out. Maybe message a couple of them on LinkedIn, right? Who cares? They didn't know you before, and if they ignore you, they ignore you. Who cares? You should not care, right? You're not in a worse situation if they ignore you. You're not in a worse situation if they say no to you either. So just put a little bit of effort into it, but you don't have to put your whole life into this thing, okay? So do a little bit of research. Don't be as generic because that doesn't stand out, okay? So anyway, and mind you, this video is on YouTube, so make sure, now it's out there. So make sure that what you're doing is very unique to you and that you're really speaking out to them, okay? So keep moving. Why should they care? So we painted this picture of success. Why should they care? What happens if they don't hire you? Now, this is weird, right? This is weird because we never like to really paint this picture of what, if you don't hire me, what this would look like. But why not? This is like marketing 101. Why not? Why not paint that picture? Right? Because we're marketing ourselves. If you're marketing yourself to become a software engineer at this company, you want to work there. You need to market yourself. You need to promote yourself. You need to believe in yourself and your skills. Right? So what happens if they hire somebody that's inferior to you? Somebody that's less technical than you, or has worse, they don't have good soft skills. Maybe their communication is not the best. What does that look like for their team? What are you really good at? Right? This is also painting that picture, right? And then if they don't have that, how does their team look? It's like this dark, sad, like depressing, kind of stressful environment. We should paint that. Put that in their head. Right? And then, how do you change this story? How will your involvement transform the current situation for that hiring manager and their team? How will you go about that? Right? It's a really, really powerful, question that you really need to think about. And so let's run through it really quickly from the top. Who's our target? Our hiring manager. What's their problem? We find out what their problem, what the company's problem is. What are they facing? How can we solve that problem? Position ourselves as the solution to those problems. Then we want to make we just want to make like 3 easy steps to be able to alleviate their problem, their plan. Right? Something relatively simple, 3 steps that we can do to help solve their problem. Right? And if it is something along the lines of they're stressed and they're frustrated, then what are 3 things that you can do along those lines, right? How can we make it a very simple, easy step process to hire you? What do you want them to do? This and the last one can actually be connected. Like, what do you want them to do can be included in your 3 steps, your plan. What does success look like? Paint that picture of success. Make sure you do it. And then make sure you paint the negative picture if they don't hire you, what that would look like as well. Right? Because again, companies are in a position where they need help. That's why they're paying the job boards to have their jobs out there, right? They're actually paying to post these job applications. I mean, these postings, right? They're paying to do this because they need help. They need help. It's not just like, oh, it would be nice to have some help. That's cool. We don't mind it. No. They need help. And they're willing to pay $90,000, $60,000. Well, 60 is very low, but I've seen some very few, like $60,000 a year type jobs. For some of you, like $60,000 is low. Yeah, well, it is. And, there are also a whole bunch of jobs up there, 120, 130, 150, 160, 170, 200. They're paying that much money because they need to pay that much money. They need help. Right? So we often, if you're anything like how I was when I first was trying to become a software engineer, I was kind of begging. I was like, oh, please, give me a chance because I need a job. You need to have that mental shift. Have confidence in yourself. Believe in your ability, and you will be able to do this, okay? Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in you, the hiring managers will not believe in you. The HR reps will not believe in you. So there's no way that you'll actually ever get the job if you have self-doubt. And I know imposter syndrome is very, very serious, is very, 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 very serious. In this industry, you need to overcome it. And if you don't have strategies on how to overcome it, like I mentioned, down below, let's chat for about 10 to 15 minutes, and we could talk about that, okay? So I think this is extremely valuable, guys. I don't know. Hopefully you guys see the value in this. This is really mind-blowing stuff. This is really, really good. I don't see anybody on YouTube or anything talking about this kind of stuff. They're just giving you resume reviews, and it's kind of like a guess, and you just have to copy and paste all the job descriptions from the job posting and then put it in ChatGPT, and you put your resume and it's gonna formulate everything perfectly for you. How does that stand out? And then what happens when you're speaking to somebody in person? You can't do that in person, right? You can't do that virtual. You're just gonna be reading everything. They're gonna know, right? They're gonna know. So now that doesn't mean that you can't use ChatGPT to help you with this, or any other AI chat tool to be able to help you with this. That doesn't mean that, right? You definitely can do that, right? And brainstorm and understand what the hiring manager might be going through. If you don't know and you don't have time to maybe watch a couple YouTube videos and see what they're going through, sure, then use ChatGPT as a way to, you know, bounce some ideas off of it. If you don't know how to do that, and you're interested in anything in addition to what I've said in this video, definitely leave it a comment below. And you know, this is a little bit longer than my normal videos, but there's so much value in here, so much I wanted to share, and there's a ton more. There's so much I had to like leave out of this. If you guys are interested in the part 2 of me going into more detail, let me know, because there's so much that we can get into. We can do some sample profiles and whatnot. We can do some reviews. So if you guys want me to review any of your material or whatever the case may be, I can make a video of it. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. And I really want to be able to give back to you guys. Like I said, you know, share with a friend that's looking to get into the industry. If you're in the boot camp, share with, you know, your classmates and everything, because everything that you do helps. Okay? Everything helps, right? So everything works. It's just, what's the most efficient way of doing it? What's the best way of doing it? And as developers, we know there's an infinite amount of ways to code things, right? But some are more efficient than others. And we want to be very, very efficient. With that, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Deuces.